Yes, people, them, people, debts, people, them. Yeah, thems and demettes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Smooth.
Today, rivals, not virals. We're going to be joined by Lee in a second, and also Daps. Them lot are being late. I can't lie. I can't stand it. It is what it is, though, innit? But we got lots to discuss today. Obviously, I'm here with Sean right now, on time. Rom's here on time. You know, you can't salute that enough. Just simple little things in life that make some people more happier than not. But other than that, yeah, we got loads.
Hello, you moaning bitch. What are you saying?
Anyways, you're late, bro. Anyways,
yeah, I'm late. You're not my fucking dad. I'll do what I want.
And there goes the monetization on the stream.
I've got Iftar in an hour, man. What's it called? Anyways, loads to discuss. Phil Foden's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Probably be back in 3. Thomas Partey, is he really injured? You know, we got to discuss that as well. Bit sour. You know, Saka's new contract. Is he world class? Can he be better than Salah? You know, 300k per week, is it warranted? He's called world class, but Harry Kane isn't. And another one, Virgil van Dijk getting slammed by his own legends from his own country. Van Basten in particular, one of the best to ever do it. And obviously Conte. We have to talk about Conte while Sean's here. So I don't know where am I going to start. Pretty much, I think I ran a poll. So let me get into that part. So we might as well just start off with Saka when Lee gets here, which will be in literally about 2-3 minutes. But you, man, do you think he warrants a new contract of 300k per week? And bear in mind, I think base salary would be around 200, 250k.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Just to add on to that as well, he's been doing it for about three seasons now, multiple positions. He's come from Ireland. I think if there's anyone that warrants that contract more than Saka, I don't think there's a player, to be fair. So why not? He performs on a consistent basis. He deserves that.
What's the contract as well?
I think Lee could probably give us the down low on that a little bit better.
That's the key. If they're tying him in for like a 5-6 year contract, then yeah, man, why not? Because it'll probably seem cheap in a couple of years' time.
So basically, obviously you're on the show, obviously welcome and everything. It feels like a long time since you've actually been here, but the whole conversation is along the line of obviously Saka. I know you're talking a bit in Saeed's show as well, but does he warrant a new contract? And not just that, is he world class? What's your thoughts on it? Because I know you're going to be heavy on it.
Listen, man, I don't understand anyone that would say he doesn't. He's, I think people are going to say that, at other clubs, some of their top earners don't. I mean, the way the landscape moves with football, the way the landscape moves with sports, there's more money coming in the game. So what's going to happen in the next 5 years? This 300k contract that he's going to have is going to seem insignificant, and the norm will be, 400 or 380,000 pounds. So for me, this guy has been, as I said on the other stream, he's been carrying. Is big up Saeed. He's been carrying bloody Arsenal since the age of 17, man. Like, the guy has been been amazing for us. As I said, I'm ready. I've already crowned him as the world-class player that he is. I can't think of anything, else to defend him. He's been an excellent player for Arsenal. He's been an excellent player for England, and ultimately,
Lee, define world class.
Define world class. Yeah, what's that mean?
Everyone says world class is different things, and I think that's important. So
I'm getting sick of this word. I'm actually getting sick of these two words.
You know what it is, right?
People,
business class.
Listen, when I grew up, right, world class to me, everybody would, I think, agree with this. We were in the playground. World class was the top 5 players in each position. That's all I remembered. World class is world class. If you were the top 5 players, because I remember there was a whole conversation about
over how long a period, though, Lee?
But then Lee, my only rebuttal to that is if there's no real other good right wingers in world football right now,
Yes,
how
yes.
can you really say
But
there's only about
this
2
is-
or 3?
Hold on, wait.
There's
you know
enough.
what, though?
There's enough to create a world class category. But over how long a period, Lee, do you think that requires?
In different eras, we've spoken about this. There was eras where there were better centre backs compared. So that's why I just think for this era, he's world class. Now, do I think that he would be a world class winger if he was, playing with the Invincibles? I still think he would, yeah, because he would fit into that kind of mode. But I'm gonna say, look, I feel like it's at least 2 seasons, at least. I don't agree with this whole stupid Champions League thing. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because I always use this whole Mahrez example. Mahrez
Is
at
Harry
Leicester.
Kane world class then?
Yeah, but I was just talking to Monts. I was talking to Monts. I was talking to Monts, and Monts was saying to me, like, he was trying to explain the whole, well, you have to do it in the Champions League. But I said, hold on, how many seasons did it take Harry Kane to get into the Champions League? I believe it was his 3rd season when he started playing for Tottenham. So what? It took, and then he said, oh, you have to do it for a couple of seasons.
But he wasn't world class in his first 2 seasons.
Okay, so no, okay, but he then said, oh, you have to do it a couple of seasons in the Champions League. So that takes another 2 seasons. So if he's maybe talking over a 5-year period that you have to be, you can be called world class, which I think is nonsense.
Yeah, Monts is making the mistake there of like expecting that most world class players are always in the Champions League.
Do you know what it is?
You know he's
feeling
the case.
it, yeah? You know he's feeling
like this.
Monts is my brother, but he's had a Saka agenda for a while, bro. He's big up
That's
Monts.
fine.
He's
But
had that
listen, and he's my brother as well. Like, for me, I'm looking at it very, very simply. Like, I feel like if you're instrumental and your trajectory is going up and up and up, you're getting more goals, you're getting more assists, you're the catalyst of your team winning, you are world class. I don't know what more we need to discuss. I don't know what more we need to talk about. Like, this whole idea of like one player's world class, or he has to do it over a couple of seasons, or he has to do it in this one tournament, he's not doing it on the world stage. Because if that's the case, I'm debunking all of this whole Harry Kane thing, because for England, he's flattered to deceive. When it's the big, then we could talk about
Harry Kane is world class. That's undeniable.
We could talk about but that's what I'm saying. Of course, but what I'm saying though, Sean, what I'm saying is we can pick points of everybody and say, well, Harry Kane's not done it in final, he's not done it in semi-final.
Yeah.
So
that is what people will do.
Yeah,
that is what
people
do.
want to be difficult.
I'm with you.
People want to be difficult for the
said,
debate, right? But Saka is a world class player, as is Harry Kane. To me,
I said back before the World Cup on DR, there was a question about, Drifty basically said that about Arsenal, that at the moment he doesn't feel Arsenal have many, any. I think he might have even said any world class players.
He said none. He said none.
Yeah, none. And what I said to him is, right, but maybe before Liverpool won the league, or the Champions League, people would have said the same. But the minute you get that trophy, and for me, like, firstly, Lee, do you even care if people think he's world class or not?
Not really, no.
Isn't it a better argument for world class,
if he wins you a league this season, if you win the league this season, it's going to be like he's going to have played a major part in it, right? And you're going to be good with that, right?
If you can name 5 clubs that Saka can't get into around the world,
exactly.
Then he can get for every single club.
Even shout out this comment,
Which one?
Quickly, I think that's it. The name on the head. When a player's playing well for your club, I don't understand why not all fans, but some fans care if other rivals rate the player. Like, if my player's doing well, I couldn't care less.
Do you know what? And another thing is, let's be real. Let's just think about it. The idea of a player is to impact games and win trophies. And like, if you really deep it, that's what Saka is doing at Arsenal. That's what Saka. To be fair, I know we didn't win a trophy, but if we would have gone further in the World Cup, again, Saka was being very influential for England in the World Cup, right? So, and then you look at, I'm not going to start naming. In fact, I will. Like, let's be real.
Is a name for you.
Daps, name me five teams around the world.
350.
Name me 5 teams around the world that Saka doesn't get into, and if you can, and it's convincing, then Saka may not be in the world class category. But I think he gets into most.
Even this guy here,
yeah.
I was going to say,
let's talk about Sancho's 350k, including bonus. Big up for the super chat. It's like that though. Like, you can say Saka's been doing it since he was young, but then so was Sancho doing it from when he was young. But now he's not deemed as world class, obviously, because even though he was doing it in the Champions League with Haaland or Bellingham or whoever it may be, etc.
Did that
Hasn't been there.
What trophies did he win? Did he win?
Yeah, I think he won the. Let me get out. I think
German
he won
Cup. He won the German Cup
German
against
Cup,
Bayern Munich.
German Cup,
He scored.
So Saka's already done one of them for Arsenal, hasn't he?
FA Cup, I think.
Yeah, he won the FA
Yeah.
Cup. And even
So now
so
he's
shout out
back,
to
yeah,
that
right.
Geordie
I
Geordie
don't.
tune for life. He was like, if Saka was world class, he wouldn't be at Arsenal. But who does Harry Kane play for? No offense, but come on, like it's madness.
Right,
because
the argument for Harry Kane is whether he's world class or whether he's. I was saying this backstage with the boys. What required? Like, there's this fallacy. I believe. I think it's a fallacy that he needs to win a trophy to cement his legacy as one of the best ever in his position. And I think it's madness. And the reason why is because if he has to leave Tottenham to go to a club with better players around him in order to win a trophy, then it's not about him. It's about the players around him. So I don't think a team trophy should be required to cement someone's legacy. And I gave the example of England in the World Cup. He scored. We went to the penalties against Italy. Sorry, not the World Cup, the Euros. He went to the final. He scored his penalty in the final. If it wasn't for Saka missing his penalty and whoever the other fellow was who missed, and if it wasn't for Jordan Pickford not saving one, then Harry Kane would have his trophy. He did his job. Other players around him not doing theirs for Tottenham or for England has stopped.
In the World Cup, who knows? Right,
but what I'm saying is that if the argument is that you're not world class or you're not a legacy in the GOAT conversation or whatever for your position unless you win a trophy, and it requires him to leave Tottenham to go to a team that has a better chance of winning a trophy, then the conversation for me is a fallacy. It shouldn't be about the team; it should be about the individual. And when you win every single goal scoring accolade, or he's likely to do so, then he's a legacy GOAT in my opinion. Anyway.
I actually agree with you, but I think the only rebuttal some people have is you rely on your biggest players to get you over that line. That's what some people might argue with, because I understand what you're saying. Other players, it falls on the responsibility of other players as well. But because Harry Kane is the best player in Tottenham and one of in England, they're gonna allow him to take them over the line, especially being the cap. He is the England captain, isn't he? Yeah, because he's the England captain as well. So I agree with you to an extent, but I think the only rebuttal to that is he's supposed to be that guy to get you over the line.
But it's not. But it's a team game, right? It's a team game.
Let's debunk this.
Team game, and the team needs a good leader.
Yeah, in terms of obviously back to Saka and everything, I just want to say this. It says up to 300k, but no one knows the ins and outs of everything in it. Bonuses, base salary, this, that, and the other. Who knows? It might be 150 with bonuses, incentives, image rights, all that garbage. But yeah, so
do you know what it is as well? We have to do the same for wages as we do for the amount of club pays, right? Because I think nowadays, I was watching something the other day and someone said basically the amount a player is worth is determined, by what a club is willing to pay for him, right? So if we look at Saka, with Saka's wage, ultimately his wage will be determined by what Arsenal are confident he earns the club, and also confident what he could get if another club came in for him. And the fact is, how many years has he got left on his contract as well?
A year, I think.
Next season.
Okay, there we go. So if he's got a year left on his season, right? And this is why
extra 20 grand on the week,
This is why Mbappe got such a big deal last year, because you look at it and imagine you've got a house, right? And you own that house, but if you don't get that house on a new mortgage rate, then you're going to lose that house and you lose your whole asset, right? So you have to, just you secure it, right? It's the same. If Saka goes, how much money does Arsenal lose? So they have to get him tied in now, because you do not want to be in a position where your player is down to 10 months left on their contract, because then you'll be paying more than 300 bags a week. You'll be paying a lot more. So they need to get him tied in. And look, like I said, if they win the Premier League this year, for me, there is no question. There's no question that he's worth every penny of it. And also how many years they're going to get him. The fact he's 21, he's already shown that he can be adaptable and play in different positions. And also, very important, for his age, and for how much he has played, he seems pretty sturdy and he's not too much of a injury risk, I would say, as well.
And I was going to say, look, just for me, go on, guys, go on.
I was going to say, has he been doing it for the last few seasons?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Has he been literally carrying the Arsenal team on his back pretty much when he's needed?
Since 17.
I
Since
think that's a
17.
bit hard, but yeah, he's been their top player.
He's been their top player for a minute, even outstanding, even when Aubameyang was shining, to be fair.
Yep.
All right, cool. And then the last part is he putting up the numbers?
Yeah.
There you go.
And look,
the guy in the comment there a minute ago who said he expects 40 GAs next season for 300 grand a week. It's an interesting take. I wouldn't say 40, but you do have to. You raise your expectations for that sort of wage, right? Because you're going to you're going to reset the benchmark. Other leading players at Arsenal are going to be knocking on the door saying, if he's on it, why aren't I? How do I level out? And then suddenly you put pressure on the wage structure with FFP coming in. There's question marks there.
My point is on the whole that I think that's just the stupidest thing. And listen, it's not him personally. I know he's a Liverpool fan, but you expect that from a player who has been, a Salah. And the reason why I say that is because he has been doing it for seasons in, seasons out. You can't expect a man who's on the same wage, yes, just because they're on the same wage, to do exactly the same thing. What a guy who's been, a seasoned vet and doing it.
That's not the point, though, mate.
No, it is, because you walk into any profession, right? Yes, if I'm on a certain wage, if I'm doing a certain thing, but this is football, so it's different. It is so different.
The point I'm making is that you raise the ceiling. You raise the ceiling, right? As soon as he's getting paid 300 grand, other players are going to start going, well, let's recalibrate my wage.
No, because and let me tell you why. It's because this guy is, no matter what people want to say, yes, Harry Kane's the England captain, but the most important player, the actual star boy, the poster boy, is Saka. He's the one. He's the golden player for Arsenal and for England. Yes,
that's relevant to it.
Harry Kane's the star boy for England. Sure. What are you talking about?
No, he is. Saka probably is. Now, the thing is,
Harry Kane's the star boy for England.
Madness.
No, bro. No, not the star boy, the star man. Maybe because he's not old, because he's not a kid. But Harry Kane is the guy that gets the job done every single game. Come on.
Except for in the World Cup.
And he got 4 assists in the World Cup, and in the Euro 6 assists and 2 goals.
He missed the most crucial penalty. Like, let's be real, he did.
Okay. He also scored a penalty in that game.
Yeah, he did, but he also missed one. As a forward, as a striker with his goal record that he has, you expect him to score it.
You're saying that Harry Kane is not the not the most important player in the England team?
No.
Who's more important than him?
I'm being serious.
Well, to be fair, during the World Cup, I think it's very clear who the captain was. He might have had the armband, but for me, Jordan Henderson was the captain during that World Cup. He was more of a leader than Kane was.
But Harry Kane's a leader by example, not a leader by voice. It's different.
But he didn't lead by example. In the biggest moment, he failed his lines. He flopped his lines.
Look. Let me ask you by the way. If you want. I was going to say, is Salah worth 350k a week?
No, he's not.
But wow, so he's not. But Saka is worth 300k a week then, because
as I said to you, and I said in the
he might not be playing well.
This is why I'm going to have to stop you there, Lee, because
no. Because why? Let me tell you, right. And this is my cousin. My cousin is a sport agent. He's a very, very big sport agent, right? And this isn't me like name dropping here. I'm just telling you what he's told me. Football sports contracts aren't about what you have done before, it's what you are going to do. Do you believe that Mo Salah is the person that he was when he signed his contract, that he's going to be in the next 3 to 4 years? Most people would say no. So you don't. Yes, that's what you don't understand. No,
but Lee,
because I need. Hold on a second. What's happening now with Salah? Remember, this happened last season as well. But okay, fine. It was a thing where he was the first time where he seemed to be faltering in his career at Liverpool. He's got great goals this season, but these goals, firstly, where has it got them? How has he played? He's got a bunch of goals in a game against Rangers and etc. So he's got 31 goals and assists or whatever he's got. Fantastic. But what has it done? Has he been the same player? Has he looked the same player? Do we think that this guy is going to produce what he's doing now, or what he's going to be doing next season or the season after that? So when I say to you,
how do you know that about Saka?
You can't really say that.
Do you know what? I just saw someone say this about Saka. Someone said Daps. you're talking like Saka didn't miss a penalty in the Euros. No, we know Saka did miss a penalty in the Euros, but the difference is Saka is 21 and not the captain, right? And
No,
also
no,
not
by
the
the way,
striker.
he was like
Hold
19.
on. Kane is the striker, the captain, and our penalty taker, right?
And
For that
leading goal
reason-
scorer.
Huh?
Second leading goal scorer now, is it?
There we go. So for that reason, I'm expecting Kane to step up and score when it matters.
So he's the
Like,
star man.
Saka was 19 when he took a penalty. Like he wasn't.
But why are you saying that
penalty
Saka is the
taker.
star boy?
Come on, man,
And-
it's not comparable. It's not
Yeah, the
comparable.
star boy of the him and Foden. Back then, him and Foden were the star boys, obviously, innit?
That's fine. Not the penalty taker. Not the
in the
captain,
World
not the
Cup
person
final,
you
who do you
expect
in
to
the
take
World Cup
penalties.
final? If we get to the World Cup final in 2 years' time or whatever it is, who would you rather not see in the starting 11? Saka or
Bro,
Kane?
I wanted Kane during the World Cup. On my life, you can ask Cass, who was with me because of the way we were playing. Yeah, I honestly, Sean was saying, for me
Callum Wilson.
personally, I like the way Callum Wilson played in that England squad more than I like the way
in
Kane
the
did.
front three, I was
Honestly.
liking it too.
Okay.
remember
But
it.
I'd like everyone in the comments to balance that ridiculous opinion out. If that's
You asked
okay.
my opinion. I'm just saying my opinion.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way
Yeah.
Kane as captain. He didn't seem like he was motivating no one. It
So
seemed
you'd
like
rather
he
have
was
Callum
doing it.
Wilson starting in the 11 rather than Harry Kane?
To run out the defense.
During that World Cup, he looked better, bro. He looked like more part of the team.
He looked injured, by the way. Let me go back, anyways, Lee. So Salah, we can say Salah hasn't looked like his glories at the moment, but he has got 31 GA, as people were saying in the thing this season, right? So when he's shit, he's still putting up numbers, right? So can you tell me confidently then, someone that might be around his wage of Saka, then is going to be, even when he's rubbish, when he will have his crap period, for all the games that he's playing, no one expected Salah to drop off like this. The whole team did, by the way, not just Salah, the whole team.
Yeah.
And he changed the way they play in tactics. So when Salah drops off, because he's nearing that kind of wage packet, and as I think Sean said it, if you're getting that amount of money, you need to be doing your GA consistent pretty much if you're on that bracket.
Not just because of the GA, because of what you've got to directly contribute yourself, but because of the impact. There's a consequence to you breaking the wage structure at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And that is other top players are going to go, not Mr. Cronky or whoever it is. Where's my pay packet? I'm doing just as much, or I'm contributing in different ways.
It happened at us. It happened at us, Sean. That's why Ronaldo and Mane left. They didn't. The club weren't paying them what they wanted, and then they left.
Correct.
This comment right here falls into exactly what both of you said. Giving Saka 300k is going to affect the dressing room, and a future deals when Ødegaard and Martinelli will command something similar. It's unsustainable.
Martinelli just signed, didn't he?
He just signed though, didn't he? Yeah. Did he just sign Martinelli?
How much was that?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but I know it's on that one.
He'll be
Yeah,
fuming.
yeah.
He'll be fuming. He'll be fuming now, even though the contract's done. He's going to be sacking his agent, saying, "You screwed me, bro."
But you know what it is? Sean?
It's so mad.
Sometimes it's context, though. He's been at the club since age 7. Do you know what I mean? He's a Hale End product. Sometimes it's a bit different. Martinelli come from the 4th division. He can't hate on a guy that's been there from that young. Do you know what I mean? I think eventually
human nature, mate. Human nature. Everyone's saying, if I'm on 180 and Saka's suddenly on 300 or whatever it is, Martinelli's saying, do I only contribute 50-60% of what Saka does? No. Therefore, there's a problem here. It creates this stress.
Sean, you're a money man. I know you're a money man, and you know how finances work. Yeah. So let's be real, right?
Yeah.
Let's be real. When you're talking about that, yes, to everyone, that goals, what you contribute on the pitch, all of that crap is very fucking important, yeah? But if we're talking about Martinelli and Saka right now, which one, yeah, generates more income for Arsenal off the pitch?
I've got no idea about the
Yes,
shirt
you
sales.
do, bro. It's Saka.
No, I'd imagine it's Saka. Of course I would, but
It's
I don't
Saka
know
by a country mile.
what the difference is. I don't know.
On
Yeah.
Saka is worth a lot more than the sponsorship deals on Martinelli.
Okay.
And I think that you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, of course. That's
me,
a factor that the club will be aware of.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. 100%.
That's the same with Grealish. If we're being real, Grealish is like, I think, City's 3rd highest earning player behind Haaland and De Bruyne. He's not City's 3rd best player, right? But financially, what he generates through sponsorships and through, like, even, you know, the social media aspects and all that, yeah, it generates money. So that's why
100%.
Saka over Martinelli. And
It's a good point.
Martinelli will know that because his agent will tell him, no, bro, these are the numbers for Saka.
Says if they're arguing over money and not winning, they shouldn't be in basically at Arsenal anyways. Lee, man, but other than Saka situation, obviously we can always say, is he worth it? Is he not worth it? Is he world class? Is he isn't? We can do it all day long. Talk to me about Thomas Partey, man. Injured, apparently, or is he really injured? In your opinion? In your opinion,
Fake
I know
news,
it's fake news.
Fake news, man. You'll see Haaland on Saturday against Liverpool. You will see all the Rashford for Man United against Newcastle, and you'll see Partey, man. You know what it is? What makes me laugh?
Who's reported the Partey one?
It was just a Charles Watts, like he's an Arsenal reporter, but he didn't report anything other than there was a slight little thing. Listen, our Arsenal physio went to Ghana with him, and look, like, you know what I'm noticing? I'm genuinely noticing, and that's why more time now I just sit there in silence. When you're at the top, people chat shit, man. People like, I know this isn't against Sean, like in no way, like he's like my guy, like cool, but I'm just talking in general, like the whole like. No, yeah, I'm like, because I don't want people, you know, like you don't. I'm saying, I'm just saying, like in general, like people just nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm more saying like the whole thing about like, oh, like people are gonna be now saying that, oh, Martinelli's gonna be jealous of Saka, or like the whole contract thing's gonna cause a divide. There was a super chat about that, and like I've noticed, like, bro, like I just can't get involved with those conversations because it is just not. It's brain numbing.
Lee, I'm not suggesting it will happen. I'm just suggesting that's the potential. It could happen. I'm not saying
honestly,
it will.
When you're at the top, I'm realizing how much people just want
Lee, you used to be one of them people. A lot can happen in a year.
Lee, the only reason I bring that up, I'm not saying because Arsenal, I'm not trying to find a way to create an idea of mayhem in Arsenal. I'm just saying it happens with Tottenham, right? It happens. The conversation happens at Tottenham. If Kane gets the bumper pay pack, then Sonny wants it. And to Daps' point, Sonny can justify it because of the amount of money that he brings in every single year from the 80 million Korean fans that come to the stadium and pay ridiculous money for the premium tickets and always buy the latest Sonny shirt. Sonny sells, I think, something like 4 times more shirts annually with his name on the back than every other Tottenham player combined. Right? So, like, he could command it for the same reasons that Daps said, the commercial viability. But if you're Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, or if you're, I don't know, Rodrigo Bentancur or a Christian Romero, someone who's like equally someone who's equally as important to the Tottenham team, maybe they're going to get disrupted or think that they're worth more than they are because Harry Kane goes and gets 300. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you'll sell Son till you've got Mitoma wrapped up. That's
or Kim Min Jae, someone like that, right? Yeah.
No, I was going to go along. Maybe Thomas Partey's potentially been slapped with a legal case.
No, but quickly.
That's been a surrounding thing.
You're saying it's fake news, but let's say there is a little niggle. Do you even need him against Leeds? Like you're good enough to
treat it
without Leeds.
They've got no Tyler Adams. They've got no Tyler Adams. They've got their best centre back.
He's out. He's out in it. He's out for a longer period now.
Out as well, right? We've got a game against Leeds where we're absolutely going to batter them from pillar to post.
Thank Lee. Like, I've got mad respect for saying that as well. Because I have heard one or two Arsenal fans trying to like say, "Oh, you know, like
you never know.
Come on, man, you're gonna." And I saw it before the Palace game. It's like you lot are gonna batter Palace. Same with Leeds. You're gonna batter Leeds.
Them, like, and this is where, like, I think what people are really struggling to understand with Arsenal right now is. And I want to give the manager a lot of credit for this. Is like when the kind of fan base that we've got, the kind of plays that we've got, it's a totally different outlook. Like I think that what is making it so special is that everybody's so young. Everybody's understanding where we are right now and what we can achieve. And I think moving forward, everybody now understands that. Look, you're going to get rewarded. Even at the start of this season, I don't know if you know, but Ramsdale got rewarded with a new contract. He's only signed 2 seasons ago. He didn't need to get a new contract, but Arsenal players get rewarded for performing well. So, like,
Lee, it's not just
right
rewarded.
now.
It's planning. It's planning.
But no, that's my point. Like, what's happening at Arsenal is something. I'm not going to say unique, but it's very special. The way that everything's kind of coming together.
It's the same as at City, bro.
Yeah. So for me, look, I just think. this whole thing with like Partey and this whole thing about Saka and Martinelli and Jesus is going to be. Everybody pulls for each other. Everybody wants to fight, and there's a particular kind of player that comes into Arsenal right now, and it's not just any old riffraff. We don't just get any nonsense player that comes in and comes to the squad. So for me, look, like I'm very, very happy with what's going on. I'm very, very happy with the players that we've got. I genuinely do believe that we are a very, very good team, and people are still, they can't accept it because we've been crap for so long. We've been crap for so long. People just can't get this banter era out of their head. We are not the same team. People. We lost against Sporting Lisbon.
And then we go banner club.
But Lee, do you know the other thing people are doing? And you're spot on with it, yeah, because obviously there was a period when you were making sure that you looked after the financial side, yeah. You were making sure that because of the fact you were having to pay off the ground and whatever, you were a selling club for that period, yeah. But now where you are, you're not. You've been, since that's been paid off, you've started spending again, right? But people are still. It's weird because rivals will say Arsenal spend when they want to, but then they'll sit like today, for example. If I go through the live chat right now, I will see comments saying City should go in for Saka or like Arteta. Like the fact is, Arsenal don't need to sell no more. Yeah, Arsenal can spend money on wages, and let's be real, Arsenal do generate some of the highest income in the Premier League, so they can spend money. So this whole thing, I'd like. Would I take Saka at City? Of course I would. But do I think it's realistic? No. He's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal boy, and Arsenal are willing to pay him whatever. There's no. It's like Reece James and Chelsea. When people say, "Oh, I'd like Reece James at City," I'm like, I'd like Reece James at City, but he wants to be Chelsea captain or Foden. Foden ain't going to leave City. There's certain players that you just know aren't going to leave the club.
Let me tell you a true story. When I was younger, right? When I was younger, this hurt me because. This is when I was kind of really getting into football, and I always thought to myself, I must have been about 6. Huh?
You said it hurt you.
Just carry on.
Oh, yeah, no. I thought to myself, why is nobody, I must have been about 16, 15. Why is no one going for Wayne Rooney? And it didn't kind of register to me how big Man United were and how much like there was no way that no one can get anything from Man United because they're so big and they've got so much money and they're, all of those things. And Arsenal, whether you like it or not, are in that mode right now. We're a big club. We're acting like a big club. We're paying players big wages because they deserve it. And we are hopefully winning special things and big things. And where I go with that is, it took me a bit of time. It took me a bit of time to understand how big Man United were. But when I did get to that point, it kind of registered to me, yes, cool. Like that is it right now. It is the same thing for Arsenal. These players aren't just going to leave for the sake of it. They ain't going to go to Man City because, money and this and that, because we can pay them the money. We're winning the big trophies or seemingly winning the big trophies. So we're in a moment where we're only getting better. We're not in unfortunately, the position that Tottenham are, where yes, they've got money, but they're not spending it. We spend money, and we're spending money in the right way. We've got a real project that is on the way to be hopefully getting us some European success. Hopefully, winning more Premier Leagues. We don't just seem like a one-trick pony, but people are still struggling to understand this and fathom this. So, listen, man. For me, I cannot see any issues with the contract.
European this season was a disaster.
Yes, it was this season because, as everybody understands, and as I keep trying to say, same like you, your team wasn't made for the Champions League. My team wasn't made for Europe. And
Europa League.
My team wasn't
Europa League.
No,
all I've been hearing all season is you're playing the best fucking two games, the top two teams in Europe.
Hold on. Wait. What I meant to say is, in terms of being in two big trophies like the Premier League. Being in two Premier League trophies like the Premier League and the Europa League, our team wasn't made for that. It wasn't, because we physically can't do that. We've got a first 13 players, and then the rest of them you can't really jig around with. So
your squad's better than Sporting's. You should have been able to get past Sporting, mate. Come on.
Yes, it should have been. We didn't go out there to lose the game, did we? But anyway, listen, you lost to AC Milan. We lost to bloody Sporting. It happens. Shit happens. We're still top of the league. We're still 8th, and I'm good.
I got told, by the way, they're going to beat AC Milan. I got told when they go back down to 1 game a week, they're going to be doing stuff and they drop a 3-3 against Southampton, right, Sean? George, Patrick, and all that kind of stuff. I've heard it all this season, so you can't really say that. I've got a couple super chats here.
All of your lies, Sean. All of your sweet talk.
Is it just me or sound like he's
You've got the robot vocoder on plate. What's going on there, man? Get that vocoder out here.
Yeah. Priest of Banner says it's not hate, even co-workers debate salaries in private. You think that dressing room is immune from such situations? Just watch, it always happens. He also says, what agency does your cousin work for? I think it's all to you, Lee Cat. I think for you, that one's for you.
How can you want him to reveal that one?
No, it's fine. He works for Rock Nation.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You can't argue that. And then football cameras, second bag justified by it also to fend off the bigger fish. Big up for all the super chats, guys. If you're in here, right? Let me do this one. Do beans really hit at breakfast? Curious from USA, but they don't have baked beans.
Baked beans, man. Baked beans on toast.
You spice them up proper.
Skinheads on a raft. Amazing breakfast. Absolutely amazing.
Some fried onions, bit of paprika, garlic. Chili.
No, you're overcomplicating it. Just Heinz baked beans on toast with a bit of HP sauce. It's delicious. I don't know what you must have probably.
His goes to show that his seasoning cupboard is literally salt and pepper. Anyways,
what was that?
Goes to show that Sean's, his spice cabinet is literally salt, pepper, sauces. That's it.
That's all I need.
That's all he needs. But anyways, guys, there's 300 of you in here. Please smash the like button if you haven't done so yet. I'm gonna be running for another 15 minutes. I need to go myself. I'm starving. If the time, innit? But yeah, next subject we're gonna talk about quickly as well is to do with your team, Roms, but also mainly Daps' team, which is gonna be an effect, obviously, because Phil Foden now he's gone for his he's gone for surgery in London.
He's had him out already, bro.
Yeah, so that means he's going to be potentially out for about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
With great recovery and great doctors, you could probably say 3 to 4 weeks, I would say.
Yeah, but there's also, my bedroom had it when I was younger. He couldn't fly for like a couple, I don't know if it's a month or two. So, buying away, potentially rail away if we get through. But it is what it is. Yeah, it's not good because Foden came back and Foden kind of seemed to ignite us a bit. We are going to miss him, especially in this run-in. But that's what happens, isn't it? This is a thing. At the moment, the conversation everyone has about the title race and about everything is who's playing who, what week, and, where the slip-ups are. But the fact is, you get one injury and all of a sudden everything changes. Like, last season, we ended the season, instead of Stones and Diaz playing as centre-back, we had Fernandinho, who was 37, and we had Laporte, who's playing through injuries. But that's just what you have to do. So it's not ideal against Liverpool. Foden usually is very good against Liverpool as well. But look, it is what it is. Everyone has to step up. Not ideal.
Does this make you more confident, Roms, then? To go to the Etihad thinking, you know what, Foden ain't there. But then you got to realise, I got this KDB. this Gundogan, man. Mahrez is back and forth. Grealish is in top form. Haaland's only back about 40 goals this year.
I've said this for about the last month on this very channel. I don't think we're gonna lose, and I know that's gonna come with the rebuttal. We hardly win at Etihad, but in the last 5-6 years, we picked up some draws here and there, and I just think we take points. Same way I think we take points off Arsenal. I don't, for some reason, I'm just confident against City. Not confidence where I think, we're gonna go there and get the 3 points, but we'll get a result, a point away.
How do you think you're gonna play against us?
I think Klopp's going to approach it as he did at the Anfield game. I think we're going to sit back again, just let you lot come on to us and hit you on the count. That's what I personally think. If we don't do that, we are pissed.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think that's the only way you can. I think if you come and play how you used to play against us, I don't think that would be a good idea at the moment. But I think you're right. If you come and sit back, we'll see. It's not. Look, everyone knows my opinion on Liverpool. Despite how much I hate them, they're still the team that. I still think they could get a result against us. But we need this pressure. This is what we need. Pressure makes diamonds, innit? And this is what we do every season.
Not for everyone. Pressure makes bottlers for some clubs. But I'm joking, Sean. I like Sean. But
what have Tottenham ever had pressure?
Yeah,
You
come
could say
on.
15
Sugar
pressure
Daddy
they have?
FC talking out loud.
You know
What
what?
are you chatting, bro? Come on. Give it a
I found
break.
Pressure? What pressure, bro? The only time you could have had pressure, you went and sacked your manager before the final. So I don't
The only
really
pressure
know.
you've ever had is how much money you're hiding underneath the
got the
fucking
perfect
table.
representation, yeah.
From
Of
your
Tottenham.
sugar daddy
That
owners.
was uncalled for.
Oi, listen, bro. Listen, let's be real, Sean. Your sports director, yeah, is in a whole heap of trouble for doing that type of shit. So, no one's clean, bro.
But that's just
There's
just
levels
back
to
the-
dirty, though. There's levels
just,
to
just
dirty,
back
bro.
to the City and
Yeah, there's
City and
there's
Liverpool.
levels to pressure as well, Sean.
Just back to the Liverpool and City game. The only thing that worries me is, again, we've not won a 12:30 kickoff. But football's a funny old game. There's a first time for everything. Maybe this is the first time we don't lose. So
By the way, this is Tottenham fans thinking they can roll with the actual big boys.
Why you begging, man, fam? Fuck off, blood. Fuck off, blood. Fucking dumb, you fam. Fuck off, blood. Puss.
I've seen that
man.
one.
Ass.
I will say though, for me, look, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm wishing it happens. I don't know why, but I do feel that Liverpool will get something at Man City. I know it doesn't sound normal, but I don't know why. I just feel like they will.
Dreaming.
I mean, it's maybe crazy.
That's
you know what?
more than
Well,
realism.
Maybe so. I just feel like there is a reason why they will, but I can't put my finger on it. But you know what it is? I will say.
I can.
I mean, and that's no
nonsense.
disrespect. This is no disrespect to Man City because they are a fantastic team, but I still feel like they're going to drop points somewhere in the league. I really do. I feel like
Yeah,
they'll drop points in about another.
I've said, right?
I think
Everyone
both
will
Arsenal
talk on.
and City will. Both clubs will. Like,
Yeah.
no one's going to go plain sailing to the end.
Everyone will talk on, like the Liverpool game. And if I look at Arsenal's games, yeah, I get they've got to go to Anfield and I get they've got to go to St James's Park. But we've got Arsenal at home and we've got Chelsea at home. We've got Fulham away, we've got Southampton away, we've got Everton away, we've got Brentford away, and we've got Brighton away, right? So, yeah, exactly. And everyone's downplaying it. Like, look, we drew with Everton at the Etihad, right? At the point, it was when we weren't playing very well. But we've got to go to Goodison.
Wait, sorry to cut you there. I think you and Lee can confirm this. Don't Arsenal and City in their last 11 or 12 games have about 8 of the same clubs? You've got a very similar run in that.
Possibly. I know we've got Brighton away. They've got Brighton at home. I think they've got Chelsea at home. We've got Chelsea at home. We've got Liverpool at home. They've got Liverpool away.
Yeah, I think there's about 8 clubs that you both have.
But for me, if I look at like that Everton game, we've got to go. We've got to go and play against an Everton team that knows they can get a result against us because they did at the Etihad, right? But now they're under Dijk and they're fighting relegation. So it's not going to be an easy game, right? And this is the thing. It's cool. We just have to be the team that we are this time most seasons. And if we're not, it is what it is. If we are, we'll win the league. But either way, we're going to be there. This isn't going to be decided this weekend. It's just going to keep going. I think Arsenal will drop points somewhere. I think City will drop points somewhere. And we'll just see in it. We'll see. There's a lot of twists and turns here. Is it 10 games?
What I will say, 10 games. You got 11. What I will say is, and people are going to say, oh, it would be weird for me to not back Liverpool. I mean, yeah, I didn't say I don't want them to win. I do want them to win. But in absolute truth, I'm not that bothered. Even if you win this weekend, as I said, the reason why I'm not that fussed is because I feel Man City. Yeah, it's not going to be decided. I think we're going to win. You probably will win. And then I feel like you will drop points. And look, as a top club, it would be so great for us to go to Man City and win and take the points off of you. It would be so great to go to Liverpool and not lose. It would be great to go to the likes of Newcastle and win, because you know what? It just removes any doubt. It removes all of this. Oh well, we were going to lose against this team. We're a big club. We've been a fantastic team all season. So I am genuinely not actually that bothered about Man City. I'm more worried about Arsenal, what we're doing, because in truth,
that helps you a lot, Lee. Yeah,
if we win 9 of our 10 games,
that's how it should be.
The joke, as I said, if we win 9 of our 10 games, we win the league. So, like,
exactly. This is what I've kept saying to everyone, that we can be the best Man City, right, and win every one of our games. But if Arsenal are the best Arsenal and win, except for that one game against us, Arsenal still win the league. So look, we are at a point now where all we can do is win every one of our games, and the rest of it is down to fate now. Because Arsenal have to slip up somewhere. They have to.
By the way, guys, again, take 2 seconds of your time, man. Someone else could explain it for you easy on this panel. How much likes are important. Just make sure, see that thumb, just make sure you take half a second just to click it, highlight it, whatever you want to do. And then,
if it's not lit for you, like a lot of you will be looking at it now and you'll be like, yeah, the thumb is lit. Just take 5 seconds to look at it. If it isn't, just tap it once. It helps the channel massively, pushes it out to a new audience, and helps us to grow that little bit more. That's all we ask. What else
hit,
to speak on?
Hit 44, a couple things. Since AFC is way better away from home this season defensively, does that make you more confidently Arsenal doesn't give up goals away from home?
Not really, because the caliber of teams that we've got to play away from home, the two big ones are the ones where we've lost 5-0, 6-0, 5-1. So yeah, like I'm not gonna discount them or discredit them, but we've been really good away from home. So yeah, look, it does probably give me a little bit of confidence, but ultimately we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see.
Yeah, obviously Monts here saying Lee is running this thing because I ain't on the panel. Do not let him trick you, man, into saying Saka is world class for 2 seasons. His team finished 5th, 11 goals, 7 assists. You think that is world class? Madness.
Listen, as I said, man, sometimes you have to think about who you're playing with up front, and unfortunately, we had Lacazette, and Saeed said it was Arteta's fault because he got rid of him. Listen, it is what it is. Ultimately, we had to get rid of him. We had to get rid of Aubameyang. He didn't play, so yeah, man. Listen, life's good, man. We're on the up. Liverpool seem to be on the down. You got Klopp, and I don't need to say no more. If I read what I said to him, I believe in August, I said Klopp is not going to take you to where you need to get to, and look what's happened this season.
You did.
And if
to
you
be
want,
fair, you did. I thought you were a madman, but
man said Star Lord. I watched that. I watched that last night with a certain someone. That was jokes.
What's Star Lord?
Great. Star Lord. So you've never watched Guardians of the Galaxy? Number 3 is coming out soon. The
Marvel film. I'm actually not. I heard it's cold.
May. I think it's coming out in May. So it's good. I go on Marvel. I'll give you my Disney login if you want. What's it called? Next up, I feel like
I've just seen the funniest thing.
One.
The police are investigating a report that Haaland was using his phone while driving, right? And the comments are hilarious. Like, there's some people saying, "No, what's he doing? Please, no sentencing."
Oh wow.
Yeah. Over him on the phone. Doesn't even look like he's on a phone.
Last couple of things to talk about is obviously Conte, because Sean obviously
Sean.
About Conte. Yeah, Conte. He's sacked now. Obviously, Nagelsmann apparently gonna wait till the summer. You lot need a manager. Stellini's here to steer some sort of ship that needs to be steered. That has no will at the moment. Your dog is fine.
Yeah. So can you hear? Is she too noisy?
No,
Did Stellini get a pay rise for this?
I'd imagine so, yeah, because he's part of Conte's team. So the fact that he's staying, I would imagine that he's got an incentive that if they get top 4 or whatever, then keeps him motivated.
Just to stay and earn that extra little bit of bread before he leaves in the summer as well.
Yeah, he ain't around after the summer.
No.
And
Ryan Mason will be though, right?
Yeah, he'll hang around and be somebody else's assistant or someone else's first team coach or whatever. And fair play to him, he needs the experience, but he ain't ready. And Stellini's not. He's loyal to his boy. But what's really interesting, guys, I did a video about this earlier. Like, there's a lot of Tottenham fans. One of them, the one Tottenham fan that you finally found to come into your comment section, the Spurs King. I don't know who this clown is, calling me out saying that I ain't claimed by Tottenham fans. Bro, like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. But I know where you probably frequent your time on a different channel, a certain channel. We don't care about them. But listen, at the end of the day, a lot of people were torn in how they feel about Conte. And they defend Conte to the hilt, mainly because they want to throw Daniel Levy under the bus rather than just, allocate blame where it needs to be allocated. And there's a pie of blame. Everyone gets a slice. Levy gets a little bit. Conte gets some. The players get a load. Everyone gets a slice. Conte puts out the message saying, thank you to everybody in the club who appreciated my passion. 388,000 people liked that post. Not one of them was a Tottenham player. Not one of them was Stellini. Not one of them was Ryan Mason. Not one of them was Daniel Levy or anyone else at Tottenham Hotspur. Nuno Espirito Santo had every single player, even in that 2-month period where everyone down tools, everyone came out and said, wish you well, bro. Nobody did anything. No one has said a word on Twitter saying, we wish you well. So all the people that want to immediately pivot and go, Daniel Levy, because I can't, for the life of me, be intelligent enough to identify why every last season for the last however many you want to go back, why it didn't work. Why you look through every manager individually in isolation. No one's got the fortitude of mind to actually sit there and analyze. They just want an easy answer and they go, well, we can't continue to blame managers. It's the 12th manager, or as some people lie, it's the 15th manager. No one wants to do that. They want the easy answer, the underlying common denominator. It's got to be Daniel Levy. Yeah, Daniel Levy deserves a slice of the pie for the blame, but not the entire blame.
We're in the same boat, Sean. Literally what you're saying. We're in the same
Sean,
boat.
Sean, can I ask you a question?
Harry Kane.
It's nothing to do with Harry Kane. It is what it is. There's two things. The first thing is, where do the players get blamed in this? This is now, most of the players have run out 4 managers, 2 of them being, world-renowned as being some of the best managers in the world, apparently. And my other thing is, and I heard a stat the other day, with all the managers that have gone and all the players that have left your club, they have won 62 trophies, I believe. In that time, you've only won 1 trophy. So, like...
Well, the players that have moved on, or the managers that have come and gone.
Within the space
but every manager that has come... When do the players get the allocation of blame?
Yeah, because because you think about it, in the last 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, you've got rid of Poch. He went to PSG and won stuff. You've got rid of Mourinho. He's gone to Roma and won stuff. You've now got rid of Conte. The likelihood is he's going to go somewhere and probably win something. And these are the same players, including Harry Kane. I'm sorry, but we have to include him in there, including Son, including Dyer, including Davies, including...
I hear the point you're making. Let me break it down for you real. I hear the point you're making, mate. I get it, right? But Pochettino left Tottenham after coming up from Southampton, went to Tottenham, took us to that glass ceiling, left, went to PSG. To say that him winning something is some message that Tottenham are failing, mate. Like that was as inevitable as me waking up and scratching my ass in the morning. PSG always win something. Like Jose Mourinho dropped his level. Like he has never managed go all the way back to even the days when he was in Portugal. Yeah, he might have done well with the Europa League, but he was always going to win something in the Portuguese league with the team he was managing. He comes to England, he does Chelsea, he does Manchester United, right? He drops down to Tottenham. And people think that Tottenham, just because we have the ability to pay these managers and entice them in with the dream of taking us that next level, there is a glass ceiling in the Premier League because there's always going to be 5 or 6 teams that are stronger or are our equivalent that are different. He goes on to Roma, right? And he doesn't win anything major. He wins the Farmers League trophy with Roma. And the people that are using that stick to beat Daniel Levy with are overlooking the fact that Conte took over in the exact same competition and got battered by Mura, who's like Slovenian 3rd division, like mechanics and teachers. So people that want to make the point that Mourinho could do it and Conte is going to do it, they're overlooking the fact that Conte had the opportunity to do it in the Conference League and didn't. Conte is, for me, everything he said is the king of passing the buck. I agree with you. I agree with people that say that the managers, the players are not good enough and they don't have the psychological strength. I don't know why Tottenham players don't do it because it's not 11 players or 25 players. It's 200 players over the last 20 years that have failed to do it. A lot of them haven't been good enough and that are flattered to deceive. A lot of them have been good enough. But ultimately, I'm not a sports psychologist. I'm not someone who understands how the minds of men work. So I don't think anyone's good enough to figure that stuff out. But ultimately, people that say, Tottenham is the place where elite managers come to fail and crucify their career. Now, Conte will never go to a more difficult challenge than Tottenham. He will not.
Do you know what
He'll go on somewhere else, and if he does win, he'll do it in an easier league, an easier realm. The same with Mourinho, and Pochettino might come back and fail as well. Something's got to change at Tottenham. I'm not sitting and defending it, but I do defend the argument that Tottenham is like the graveyard for successful managers. It's nonsense.
Do you know what my issue with Conte is? Right, is that
What you call him?
his interview, what he said. I think like Tottenham fans are coming out going, I don't disagree with what he said. What he said about, the club and all the owner and all of that is right. But it's the same as Ronaldo did with Man United. When Ronaldo came out and was saying all this shit about Man United and about the Glazers, and then certain elements of Man United's fan base were like, no, they're going to take his side just because he called out the Glazers. It's like he could have done that at any point and he never has before. And it's the same with Conte. He did that on purpose.
Why did you call him that?
Call him what? Conte.
There goes monetization again.
But it's like, what you're saying is right, but we know you're not saying this because you care about Tottenham Football Club. You're saying this because everything you've said has helped to you kind of leave, putting the blame elsewhere, taking no accountability, and hoping that means that you can walk into another job and earn another, 50 million or whatever he's earned out of Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of super chats. I think this one for you, Lee. Talking nasty about Klopp when he's got more European success than Arsenal Football Club is funny, not gonna lie. But you can reverse flip that about Premier League success. Question: what would you say the difference is between tiki-taka and possession football? And is there a team that play tiki-taka currently? And Ramadan about it.
No, I don't think there is, I do get what... tiki-taka is a bit...
I think it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been...
Xavi's been trying to do it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think Xavi's going to do it. By the way, I ran a poll.
It's quicker. For me, tiki-taka is a bit quicker.
Yeah. I think it's been gone for the last couple of years, to be fair.
I think City maybe like 17, 18, 19. You could have said
that video you put up, that's when you went to the Emirates. Them goals, they were crazy. They were. You could say that was tiki-taka.
But that was prime City. That was City at their best. Yeah.
I got a part. Who should be the replacement? Obviously for I'm about to call him what Daps calls him. Conte. Daniel says Brendan Rodgers. We got Sean Dyche, Poch, Rafa Benitez. Mancini.
What's his name? Is it Greg Merson?
The legend part.
But would you not say some of the names you've just said there? Yeah, this is the problem with what Conte's done. Right, is that he's kind of slandered Tottenham to a place where it will be more difficult for them to get their next manager because managers are going to look at it and go, Jose left badly, maybe didn't get what he needed. Conte left badly, didn't get what he needed. And like Mancini, I don't think there's a chance that Mancini would walk in there right now.
I'm going to do some predictions.
Listen, I agree with you. For me, any half decent manager that goes Spurs, honestly, the same way I talk about Kane being a loser, you're the biggest loser if you go Spurs.
Speaking of managers, Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted in the last 8 minutes that they understand there's a fixed amount to sign De Zerbi, but it's only can be activated in the summer, not during the season. But there's a fixed amount in his contract for another team to.
De Zerbi, if you go to Spurs again, everything about you, I just write you off, mate. You're
Tottenham aren't going to pay a fixed fee for De Zerbi. Is that what you're saying? It's agreed, or it's just
why is it Bellin if he goes to Spurs? It's an upgrade, really. It's a project time. He can do that. He
gets what he deserves.
It's not. It is. It's going to be because for me, look. The issue that I've got with Spurs, they're not going to spend the money. They're not going to spend the money.
What do you mean we're not going to spend the money, mate? We spend the fourth most net spend in the last 4 years in all of Europe. We spend so much money. We spend it badly.
Let me finish, though.
Oh, you could afford us with the players you got.
Yeah, we spend it badly.
My point is, I was going to say is, for you to get into the top four, probably like right now, you can't spend 200 million. You probably need to spend about 350. You're not going to spend that. So you might spend 150. You might spend 200 million, but you're not going to spend enough to push yourself.
We need four players. We need 4 players, Lee. You're wrong. We need 4 players. You don't need to spend 350 million on 4 players.
In your opinion, but in most other people's opinion,
just 4.
Yeah, 2 centre backs, a goalkeeper, and a creative midfielder, and after that, we're good.
But again, so
and that's
your
not in my
opinion.
opinion. That's in every Tottenham fan's opinion. We need four
Yeah,
players.
yeah. So in
That's it.
Spurs fans' opinions, because you like your players, so that's fine. But let's just say like the consensus of most other fans who might have a little bit more of a neutral view of your team, you need a lot to catch up to the even Man Uniteds who are, you know, at a level where they're currently growing and they're growing to a rapid rate. You aren't guaranteed to get top 4. Chelsea are coming and they may
Top 5 next
or may
season,
not.
by the way.
Top 5, yeah, it is. So, but what I'm saying to you is then I was going to add a Newcastle into this one.
Top 5.
It is top 5 for Champions League, and then Newcastle are also in this.
Because of you, man.
Because of the coefficient thing, yeah.
Hey, come on, always in it.
Look, listen. Anyway, right? So look, I just think that there's going to be top 5 teams that are going to be more guaranteed than you to get top 4. Then we move to the point with Harry Kane. If he stays, fine. If he doesn't stay, you're in a little bit of trouble.
It's a different conversation. Yeah, 100%.
My coefficient is in the Champions League all the time.
Not necessarily.
All right, there's levels to this game, man. I love to hear it, man. You man can fight. I mean,
look. My point is that like, talking about without.
You're just so shameless.
My point is that Spurs have a lot of work to do. Spurs aren't in this position where they can just, you know, walk around acting like their shit don't stink. And I know as Spurs fans actually are now kind of, they're not even bothered about the Champions League because they feel like their club's in such a mess. I'm just saying to you, you have a lot of work to do, and I don't think that you've got the money. I don't think you pay the wages to get the top players, and I just think that it's a poison chalice to go to Spurs. I don't feel like any top manager should be walking in and thinking, I can change it, because we've seen top managers go there and not be able to be backed. We've seen top managers go there, and even someone who like Poch, who I saw the other day, I didn't even know this. He didn't get a bloody playoff for 518 days, which is madness. Now, okay, fine. You had a good squad at that time. So,
no, it was also, there were so many other variables that were important.
Look, all I'm saying to you, Sean, is there are so many things as to why you are.
Yeah, and you're clearly a little bit unclear on why those things happen, mate. Like, for example, this whole idea about being backed, it's a retrospective rear view mirror bullshit conversation that everyone who's always unhappy, perennially unhappy, does. They look back through the mirror. If Richarlison comes in and scores 20 goals this season, if Perisic bangs in the half a dozen chances that he had that were XGs of 0.9 and fucking didn't sky them over the bar, if any of the injuries didn't, well, all the variables that happen, I'm not even going to mention, I know how much you get pissed off with injuries. I'm not going to mention injuries, right? But if Basuma comes in, everybody in the start of the summer was talking about how Tottenham are doing bits. You sign Basuma, you sign Perisic, you sign Richarlison, blah, 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 right? If any of those players hit the ground running and do the things that they're supposed to do, Tottenham were backed. Because it's not even a fucking conversation. If Tottenham are second in the league because Richarlison's contributions that he's supposed to be able to do actually take us over the line and get that 10 goals that we would have or should have had. If Hugo Lloris didn't make the 5 mistakes that he did, if Eric Dyer didn't make the 5 mistakes that he didn't do last year, that he did this year, that led to goals, that weren't anything to do with Conte, weren't anything to do with the rest of the team or with Daniel Levy backing, if those silly little sloppy mistakes didn't happen, Tottenham have 12 points more, and we're in the same position Manchester United are in, which is a conversation about challenging for a title that was never going to eventuate. But all of that stuff doesn't happen. And then people that want to blame and go to the same common denominator is Daniel Levy's fault because he hasn't backed the manager. It's bullshit. It's always fucking in the rearview mirror. I would rather Tottenham fans say right now, what is it that we need in the summer? Make your case clear. Is it how much money to spend? Is it how many players you buy? Is it specific players? Is it specific positions? Don't wait to see whether or not those players figure it out. Let me know now. And then I'll tell you at the end of that, we can judge at the end of the transfer window whether you got what you needed to make you happy. But all Tottenham fans do is they sit there, wait until it doesn't work out, and then say he wasn't backed. And it's a bullshit. It's a very easy, convenient argument that is based on reflection, not foresight. It drives me up the bloody wall. I can't stand
Sean
it.
for Tottenham. Sean for the Tottenham job.
Yeah, Sean for Tottenham. I'm gonna have to move it on quick because I need to go prepare some food and stuff. I'm starving. If you haven't, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Again, if you've done it, amazing. Thank you very much. If you haven't, just please, if you don't mind, because I could be in. I don't know. I'll be like, F you, get out my stream. Well, I'm not. Predictions quickly. I'm just going to quickly go through. Just tell me who you think is going to win, if you don't mind. Man City versus Liverpool. I'm going to go Man City. Anyone just throw a name.
Draw.
Man City.
Draw.
Man City.
Draw.
1-1.
You said Liverpool. No. Roms, you said Liverpool. Don't backtrack now. Okay.
You're not listening.
you
I said
were
a
being-
I said
draw.
Liverpool can get something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did not
Ah,
see
no,
what Cass does. And if we
don't.
lose, you're going to
He
be.
had a team. He was going to beat Real Madrid 3-1. Bournemouth,
I'm
Fulham.
allowed to feel like that.
You're not Fulham, bun that. That's not thingy. Arsenal versus Leeds United. Everyone's going to say Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Quick one. Chelsea, Aston Villa.
Draw.
Chelsea.
Draw.
I don't trust Chelsea. Draw.
Don't trust them.
Draw.
Everton,
draw.
Tottenham, and Everton.
Everton.
Tottenham.
Sean?
Tottenham.
All right,
Everton.
there's no draws in it.
For
And
sure.
Newcastle, Man United. I can't lie, I'm going Man United.
Draw.
Nah, Newcastle for sure.
Oh, for sure. You
For
know.
sure.
Yeah. Big up everyone that's actually tuned in. Big up for all the super chats as well. I can see a lot saying Chelsea wins, Everton wins, draws. Leeds, Star-Lord just does not like. I like Star-Lord. I like you a lot. But yeah, man, tune in tomorrow where we're gonna do some player ratings for around the top 6 clubs. You know, the tier list. Tier list goes down. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some arguments about a couple players, Daps, and yeah, man, and we'll be there.
I might not be on there, to be fair. So
Oh, there you go then.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
tomorrow. I don't know. Oh, so what are we gonna do without you then, Daps?
I don't know. What time is it?
We cannot replace him. We cannot.